Well, here's the Aramaic for the week from Daniel 2:26. Ane Malka, answering the king. So this is a participle. Notice that we get kamats under basic all participles, or the G participles in Aramaic. This is a participle. This is a participle. We have another participle further in the verse. So, answering the king, va'amar, and saying, la Daniel, to Daniel. The sense here is the king answered and said, which makes better English. But and in Hebrew, the king answered is the more typical way to do it. But in Aramaic, as we've seen in Daniel, answering and saying is a standard way of doing this. No, languages do what they do. So these are both G participles, or all participles. We would say call participles in Hebrew. Anyway, answering the king answering and saying, la Daniel, to Daniel. There's la too. Now this little statement here, D Shamay Belthashazar, not Shazam, but Belthashazar. So who his name is Belshazzar. So Daniel is his Hebrew or Aramaic name, but Belshazzar is his Babylonian name, as it were. It has two different names. So Daniel's name is Belshazzar in Babylonian. Okay, so here's what is the king going to say? Well, we have a kathiv kare here, which means that it's written wrong. If you compare the consonants here and the letters, there's a yod in the writing that shouldn't be there. Yod goes with E vowels, and this is an A vowel. So anyway, so it's a kathiv kare. Are you? So the basic word here is in Hebrew it's ain. Is there, or something? So there is something like that. I in Spanish, I think, is what I associate with. But are you? The ka is the you. Are you kahale? This is another participle. Notice we're seeing this pattern of kamats under the first consonant. The second consonant can vary a little. I think the sere is normal. Because resh is a guttural, we had an patak there. I think the sere is more normal, I think. So being able, kahale. So are you being able? Laho da'u tani. Laho da'u tani. Are you being able to cause me to know? So because it's a verbal form with a lamed on the front, it's an infinitive construct, because that's the verbal form that does. Participles can have prepositions on the front too, but this is I think an infinitive construct. The la is to, like to here. The hey tells me it's which stem. In Aramaic, it's the hafel. In Hebrew, we would say hifil, but it's the H stem, the causative stem, cause me. The me comes from ni. So Yoda here, yada, is no. Yoda knows, yada, to know. Are you able to cause me to know? So it's a long word. I've noticed that Aramaic can have longer words than are typical of Hebrew. They go a little longer, it seems to me. So Helma, are you able to cause me to know the dream? Kamatz Aleph is the. D, the relative pronoun. In Hebrew, it would be asher, but it's D in Aramaic. That I saw, kazait. So this is, I think kazah, if I remember correctly, I may be misremembering. I think kazah is the vision verb, to see in that sense. I'm not double checking myself here, so I'm going from memory. But this is a perfect, I think it's a perfect third masculine singular. That I saw. Are you able to cause me to know the dream that I saw and its interpretation? U pishre. So the hey with the mapik is the its, and then peshar is the interpretation, and u before bump letters, bump. So before pay, vav becomes u. So and comes from vav, its comes from hey, and then interpretation comes from Pesher in the middle. All right, so the king answering and saying to Daniel, whose name is also Belteshazzar, are you being able to cause me to know the dream that I saw and its interpretation? So this has been the Aramaic of the week.